All right, finally decided to pull the trigger. Obviously back on the XJ. If you look, I've still got the factory setup and the Y-Link, or however you want to call it, steering setup that's factory. Of course, I do have a drop track bar. I've been wanting to upgrade my steering. I want to go crossover steering. I've done a lot of research, compared brands, prices, so on and so forth. And here's what we're going with. So I do have the crossover steering. Good quality, heavy duty, heim joints, comes with all the hardware. I actually got these from Labwork, which I will copy their link in the description here. All right, and I got these in red because it's kind of the accent color I guess I've got on this Jeep. So basically what I'm gonna do is put these in. It's the first time I've actually installed one of these on an XJ. Imagine it'd be pretty similar to the TJ, but I'll show you the process on what we're gonna do, and then let you know if you have to drill out any of the knuckles or not. Usually there's a 5/8, which means you've got to drill them out. Basically, you're gonna take this castle nut off. You're gonna drop this across on both sides. You'll have to drill out the knuckles, and then you will lose your steering stabilizer on this setup because it will hook up to the pitman arm. But I'll show you that process as we go through. And you shouldn't need the steering stabilizer anymore with this system. But if you do, there are brackets where you can mount one on if need be. But we're gonna start getting this taken apart, and I'll show you some of the process and see how it goes. All right, first you wanna jack it up, jack up the front axle, take the wheels off. What you wanna do is there's gonna be a cotter key on here. You want to pull that out to take these castle nuts off of the knuckle on both sides. It is a 19mm metric. Before you take that out, you probably need a buddy, but measure from here to the other knuckle to get what your length is, so you can get it close back to the factory alignment. Of course, once you get this done, you will need to get an actual alignment done, unless you can do it by yourself. But measured mine's right at 52 inches. So when I put my bar back in, I will set it at 52 inches as a starting point and go from there. But we'll take these off, knock these out, and then we'll have to take the same aspect off of the pitman arm and also your steering stabilizer, because it will not be used again. All right, so we'll get to this, but I told you it was gonna be 52 inches. So what you wanna do is these are both right turn so they don't back out. And then you got your jam nut. So once you get it set wherever it is, you kind of want to have about the same amount of threading on both sides to keep it even. So you thread it in, and then you want to tighten this jam nut down to the actual bar so that it doesn't come undone. So I went ahead and set that one up. And what I've got to do now is do a little bit of drilling that we talked about. All right, so what you're going to have to drill is right here on this knuckle, again, and the other knuckle, as well as the pitman arm. You can do the pitman arm by taking it off or leaving it on. I'm gonna do it by leaving it on just because it's a pain in the butt to get them off. But it is a 5/8 drill bit that you're gonna need to open these holes. You can use a reamer, but I just got a new drill bit, figured it'd be easier. So I'm gonna start drilling those out, and then we'll be able to bolt it together. I did take my pitman arm off, so we're gonna drill this hole out as well. Make sure you keep some WD-40 or Seafoam or something like that to keep it lubricated. If not, you'll burn your bit out pretty quick. So get these drilled out, and then it should just be an install process. Again, they're 5/8. All right, so got the knuckles drilled out. Here's the boat, just a test fit. Solid, no play. Just trying to drill them straight so you don't waller it out any. But 5/8 is the correct size. Did the other knuckle. Still waiting on the pitman arm. I ended up taking it off to drill it out, and it's been a pain in the butt. But these knuckles went super easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting some of this stuff installed and finish drilling out the pitman arm. All right, so we got it on. A couple things I want to point out. All right, the bar with one bend is going to go to your pitman arm and the top of your passenger side wheel hub. Okay, the biggest thing on this is make sure your misalignment nuts or washers, are pointed the right way. If you can see, the cone shape faces the heim joint. So bolt, misalignment washer, heim joint, misalignment washer. Then put the bolt through, and lock nut goes on the back side. That's how you do that one on the short bar that goes there. The bottom bar has 2 bends. On the driver's side, the orientation again is going to be bolt, misalignment nut, heim joint, misalignment nut, then locking washer or locking nut on this top here. On the opposite side, it's actually going to be reverse. The bolt's going to go down. When you get this kit, there's one bolt, this one, that has 4 misalignment washers on it. That's this bolt here. Even though they're the same size, same length, it's just easier to do it this way, right? So you're going to have the bolt, misalignment washer, top bar with a bend, misalignment washer, the long bar with 2 bends on the bottom, another misalignment washer, and then the locking nut. Again, you're going to have to get, an alignment when you get this squared away, but this should be pretty close. When you do the top one here, you want to kind of make sure your pitman arm is as straight as can be. That'll kind of help with any your steering wheel being crooked when you're looking at it trying to drive straight. Again, all that stuff is an easy fix. It just takes time. Since these are all right-hand thread, it's great because these cannot back themselves out. But the problem with that is, so if you need to adjust them to get your alignment, you actually have to remove the bolt to do that. So it's a pain in the butt, but it's actually really good for the safety aspect, especially if you're going to be off-roading. A couple things to point out on this. Again, you got to drill the pitman arm out to 5/8 and the knuckles to 5/8 when you do that. A couple questions that I'm sure you're going to have that I can point out. If you have death wobble already, right? Or if you get death wobble, you've already had it. This isn't going to make you have death wobble, right? It's just going to identify some other worn out components that need to be replaced. So it should not create any death wobble on this aspect. A couple other things. This is an actual XJ, obviously, but this kit will fit probably an 84 to 01 Jeep TJ, Jeep Cherokee XJ. Should be the same. Dana 30 front end, should be the same. This is 1.5 inch by 25 inch or 0.25 inch wall, factory tubing, and it's got the 3/4 Molly ends on it. So good quality, comes with all grade 8 hardware for the kit. Definitely like it so far. I'm going to take some, before and after pictures and get the wheels and tires and stuff back on. But I know there's a lot of questions about this. One thing is, how do you know if you need a drop down pitman arm or not? Basically, the sweet spot for these is from knuckle to knuckle, from bolt to bolt, however you want to say it. Should be about 36 inches. That's about the sweet spot for it. A couple questions. These articulate. Why do they articulate? Well, if you look at your factory suspension and you check that out before you take it off, it is also going to have play in it, okay? It has to have some play. That's why you have tie rod ends, so that you can get different articulation and have steering when off-roading, bumps on the road, etc. So this is common. This is normal. That's the way it's supposed to be. The other question is going to be, what about if this bar is hitting this bar? Real simple. Just make sure your orientation of your heim joints are the same. This one's down on the front. This one's down up on top. Turn the same way. Crank down your jam nuts. That's as far as this one goes down, okay? This one goes up, but it doesn't go down, because that's the way I've got it adjusted. This one will come up, but they shouldn't make any clearance on them. As far as fit and finish, it came with a little bit of scuffs on it. No big deal. That's not from the factory. The box I got was pretty dinged up, so blame that on the delivery. But as far as the process, a very simple process. The hardest thing for me was the pitman arm. Drilling that thing out was a nightmare. Everything else went simple. I'll sit it down. I'll put my sway bar link back on, get some tires on it. And again, I'll put the link on this thing in the comments. For the price, quality, I haven't found one cheaper for the same amount of quality. So we're going to test it out and see how it goes, and time to get the tires back on. All right, got it all back on. Looks really, really, really good. Gonna take it for a spin, see how it drives. Then again, check everything after about 500 miles, make sure it all stays tight. And I recommend an alignment, but for right now, we're just gonna take it for a drive and see how it goes. Now, sorry it's getting dark on me, but took it for a long test drive. No issues. It actually handles phenomenal. It's extremely, extremely tight. So in comparison to what I had on here, it's like I'm steering a brand new car. Sorry for the puppy. She wants to be in the picture, but I mean, absolutely phenomenal. I would highly recommend this product. Again, it's on Labworks. I'll send the link. Can't say anything good enough about it, but it's quite a bit cheaper than any of the other comparable brands, and it's working flawlessly as of now. I'll continue to do stuff to this. As far as the alignment seems to be really, really good. The only thing I did was what I told you not to do. I didn't check my steering wheel for center before I put it back on, so the steering wheel's a little crooked, but no big deal. I can fix that. That's just a cosmetic thing. But super excited about this kit, and it's actually easy and enjoyable to drive. I did get it up to 55, which seems to be the area where if you have any issues, you'll know. Drove and handled fine, even hit some potholes and stuff, just the normal vibrations from having a lift, but actually meets expectations of what I thought the driving experience would be. So super, super impressed. Check them out, and thanks for watching.